At the outset, I'd like to apologize for the absence of Mr. Salim Khan, who... May I now request the photographers to please sit down. You will get another photo opportunity later on so that we may start the evening. Thank you. One of the most beautiful books of this year, Mohammed Rafi, My Abba, by Yasmin Rafi. We are privileged to have renowned actor Mr. Amitabh Bachchan to formally launch. Memories of Hindi cinema are only through its great music. And before we understood the dialogues and some great voices which have stayed with us for years, there was one which wafted through airwaves, as if someone had whispered an endearment into our ears. O dunya ke rakhwale, sun dard bhare mere naal. There was just one man and his voice which could evoke all these wonderful love, respect, and of course, great music. I would now like to present copies of the book to our special guests of the evening. May I request Neeta Gupta, publisher of Yatra Books, who has co-published the Hindi edition with us, to join us on the stage.
Hello, excuse me.
Come up, my dear.
अरे स्टील बैठ जाओ ले लेना तो अभी इधर पीछे भी बैठ जाओ स्टील
सर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक के लिए सर
इलेक्ट्रॉनिक के लिए
May I now please request our photographer friends to please sit down. You will get more photo opportunities. And may I now request Mr. Bachchan to say a few words and share some of his memories of Rafi Saab with us.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me here this evening at this very momentous moment of the release of the book Mohammed Rafi, My Abba. I'd like to, of course, thank the organizers for the event today for thinking about me, and would like to particularly thank Yasmin ji for remembering me and giving me this great privilege and honor to be here this evening for this event. My very first thoughts when I was asked to come to the event was that it is indeed a great deed by the family to bring out a book on Rafi Saab. Many of us in this country have forgotten how to document the lives and works of important people. And it is most unfortunate that many of our greats have left us and there is no record of what the family or people or even a deep analysis of their creativity gave to this wonderful industry and to this wonderful country. So I'd like to thank first Yasmin ji for thinking about Rafi Saab. We know Rafi Saab from his work, his creativity, but it's always wonderful to have an insider's view on a legend. And when it comes from a member of the family, it makes it even more exciting and certainly more valuable. What can one say about Mohammed Rafi Saab? I have no words to describe this great personality. We have all grown up as young children listening to his voice, his contribution to the film industry, and the great music that he gave to all of us that shall always remain with us historically, and even for the coming generations when they talk about music and Indian film industry. Rafi Saab will be a legendary figure. There was a great simplicity about Rafi Saab. Whenever he sang, there was a feeling of almost divinity. There were never any flaws in his singing or in his renditions. He was a simple, very soft-spoken, very humble human being. And I think that reflected in his creativity as well. When we look at the great amount of work that he has left behind, we must be astonished now, because Rafi Saab rendered those songs at a time when the support of technology was not there. Today's music directors and technicians and singers, with all due respects, have the benefit of technology. You sing slightly Besura and there's a lovely machine that puts you in tune. But can you imagine those days when there were no machines? And there were no part-time adjustments, so to say. Today, in a small little room with a small computer, musicians come and they play their piece and they go away. Singers come, they sing their piece and they leave. And after that, it is the technicians that actually start making the song. They put things together, they tune up things. But imagine the greats like Rafi Saab, who had to sing again and again, even if a musician in the orchestra made a mistake. The entire take had to be redone from the start again. And to have this happening time and again, 15, 20, 30 times, and be absolutely faultless in your rendition is really what the greatness of Rafi Saab was, and all the singers of that time. So one has a great amount of admiration for him, because he lived through a time and performed through a time when he was never supported by the modern technology that we have today. I can have many stories to tell about Rafi Saab, but it'll take a very long time. I had the great privilege and honor to stand next to him when he rendered a few songs of mine, in which I also played a very nervous part. But I do remember one incident of Rafi Saab which truly describes his character and nature, because everyone is aware of his singing and his brilliance, but perhaps many are not aware of his human side. Many, many years ago, Mr. Shashi Kapoor, dear friend, colleague, had organized a musical event in Siliguri. And we all went there. There were at least 15 or 20 members from the acting community, along with an orchestra. And our chief performer of that evening was Rafi Saab. The event was to be held for 2 days, and Rafi Saab was to perform on day one, and then because of other commitments he had to leave. It was scheduled that he would leave, and another singer of eminence was to join us. Having finished the first performance, Rafi Saab, as usual, was brilliant. The audiences and the crowds applauded and lauded his work. And the next morning, Rafi Saab left. But the other singer that was to come for this event just did not turn up. And Shashiji, who was organizing this, was fretting and fuming because we really had no one else to take Rafi Saab's place. And it was decided that it would be nice if we could request Rafi Saab to stay back for another day. But we realized that he had already left for the airport. And those of you who are aware of the geography of Siliguri remember that the airport is Bagdogra. It's many, many miles away from Siliguri. And it was decided that I would be sent along with a few friends of mine to persuade him to come back. We drove frantically from Siliguri, reached Bagdogra, and found that the flight had already been loaded, the doors had been shut, Rafi Saab was inside the plane, and the plane was taxiing off. We went up to the authorities and we pleaded with them and said, look, this is a very special case. We need to talk to Rafi Saab, and would they please allow us to just spend a moment with him? With a lot of protocol being broken, I was allowed to run across the tarmac. They opened the door of the plane, and there was Rafi Saab sitting very composed and quiet. And I said, Rafi Saab, एक रिक्वेस्ट है आपसे, एक दिन के लिए क्या आप रुक सकते हैं, क्योंकि जो आने वाले थे वो नहीं आए हैं और हमारे पास अब कोई है नहीं, हम बहुत मुसीबत में हैं. Rafi Saab did not take even a second to rethink about this. Picked up his bag, got off the plane, came and joined us for the second day of the event. And that is a gesture that I will never ever forget. It was just the humility and the kindness in his nature that made him do this. I will always remember him as a very gentle human being. I also was there when he was buried at the cremation ground near Juhu. And it was a very sad moment. I still remember it was a rainy morning, and as we all stood by, a whole lot of memories went through our minds. And in the distance stood Dilip Kumar Saab, one whose voice had been immortalized by all the songs that Rafi Saab had sung for him. That was my last impression of Rafi Saab. I wish this book a lot of success. I wish that many more such books are written. And I hope that there are many more people who will get inspired to write about the greats like Rafi Saab, because we do need to document their creative work that they have left for us. Thank you so much for having me here.
Before we carry on, may I once again make a request to the photographers to please stop clicking so that our audience can enjoy the evening, and to please sit down. Yasmin Rafi perhaps has said all that she must have felt and wanted to about her Abba, Mohammed Rafi, in her one. It would be wonderful to hear you speak. Ladies and gentlemen, Yasmin Rafi.
You can sit here.
Yeah, all right, I'll do that. Thank you. Hello, Adab everyone. Hello, Adab everyone. 5 years ago, the thought of writing this book had crossed my mind, and here I am today. It was possible for me to be able to write this book on Mohammed Rafi Sahab, as I was fortunate enough to have lived with him for nearly a decade. Mohammed Rafi Sahab is a personality that millions of fans in the world wanted to know more about, and that's why I wanted to write this book, so that those dedicated fans can appreciate an insight into their favorite singer's life. This is a small tribute from me to the legend Mohammed Rafi Sahab and my dear late husband Khalid Rafi Sahab. I hope you will enjoy reading the book. I would like to take this opportunity to say how grateful I am to Jacaranda, my agents, who unfortunately could not make it here today, and to my publishers Westland and Yatra Books for making this book a reality. Thank you so much for your great support. Lastly, I would like to say a big thank you to all the guests who have come here for this occasion. And a very special thank you to Mr. Amitabh Bachchan Sahab, who took the time and effort to launch my book today. It's truly an honor, sir. Thank you so much. And I hope you will enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
To request Neeta Gupta, publisher Yatra Books, with whom we have co-published the Hindi edition and without whose tremendous efforts the book would not have come out on this evening, to say a few words about publishing the Hindi edition.
की तरह मानो रफ़ी विला में एक आपने खिड़की खोल दी है जिसमें हम और आप हम जो आम आदमी हम उस घर के अंदर झांक के वहाँ क्या बिरयानी पक रही है, क्या खाना बन रहा है, किस तरह के आचार योगा कर रहे हैं नहीं कर रहे हैं, इन सारी छोटी छोटी बातें जो आपने इसमें समेट के रखी हैं. I really want to thank you for that and congratulations and thank you Mr. Bachchan for being here with us. It's a tremendous joy. In fact, मैं दिल्ली से आई हूँ आज and दिल्ली में you know the Bombay is really has a very bad reputation in terms of people turning up for book launches, but I'm very impressed. So this is, I think we have Rafi Sahab and Bachchan Sahab to thank for this. This is a full house. It's amazing. Thank you everyone for being here.
Hi, Yasmin ji, this is Sharendra. Congratulations for bringing a book to us so that we get to know more about Rafi Saab's journey in life. Can you just tell us a little bit about your favorite memory with Mohammed Rafi Saab? And if you can give a small anecdote.
Favorite memory? जिस दिन मेरी शादी हुई थी रफ़ी घराने में. Is it? Yeah, it's working, but yeah.
Need to speak a little louder.
सुन लिया आपने?
Yeah, it is so nice. So can you elaborate a little bit more?
I can't hear you properly.
Can you just tell a little more about the memory that you had on your marriage day with Rafi Saab?
किताब में सब लिखा है उसे पढ़ लीजिए ना.
आप पढ़िए. That's very true. आप किताब पढ़े ना ज़्यादा enjoy करेंगे.
सारी किताब यही बोल देंगे तो फिर आप पढ़ेंगे क्या?
Thanks.
There's a question there.
Can I, sir?
Nasreen, yes.
Can you hear me? I don't. Take this. Is the other one working? Let's try. It's really wonderful that you've written this book, and we're so proud that you have, and to hear everything about him. As Amit ji just said, we will discover everything about him in the book. But I would like to ask a rather cheeky question and ask whether Rafi Saab used to listen to his own songs at home.
Yes, actually, he did. जब recording से आते थे, तो घर पे आके सबसे पहले हम लोगों को सुनाते थे कि आज मैंने ये गाना रिकॉर्ड किया है, सुनो कैसा लगा. तो हम सब सुनते थे साथ में और फिर इतने मासूमियत से पूछते थे कैसा लगा. जी
Rafi Saab is regarded as Bharat ka Ratna. People, I represent the Rafi Foundation. So ये भारत रत्न अवार्ड के लिए फैमिली या किसी ने ट्राई किया है रफी साहब गवर्नमेंट के साथ भारत रत्न अवार्ड के लिए, जो बहुत लोग डिमांड किए हैं, एमपीज को लिखे हैं, हमने मिनिस्टर्स को लिखे हैं. फैमिली की तरफ से कुछ बात ऐसे हुई है कि गवर्नमेंट और पोजीशन ऑफ पीपल को अप्रोच करे और रफी साहब को ये पद दिलाए, ये हॉनर दिलाए. आई वांट टू नो मैम प्लीज.
मैंने सुना ज़रूर है कि बहुत सारे फैंस जो हैं ये चाहते हैं कि रफ़ी साहब को भारत रत्न मिले, लेकिन ऑफ कोर्स फैमिली भी चाहती है, हम भी चाहते हैं, इससे बड़ी खुशी हमारे लिए और क्या होगी। रफ़ी साहब भारत के रत्न थे, तो उन्हें ये टाइटल मिले तो क्या बात है।
लेकिन ट्राई किए थे आपने गवर्नमेंट से बात करने
जी,
या
नहीं,
फैमिली ने ट्राई नहीं किया? थैंक यू सो मच।
जी नहीं।
There are a couple of questions at the back, if we could get the mic across.
यास्मीन जी, सबसे पहले आपको बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद। आपसे बहुत सी बातें मैंने की है, अमित जी भी बगल में बैठे हुए हैं। एक सवाल, एक इंसिडेंस उनसे पूछना चाहूँगा। सर, आपने अपनी फिल्म नसीब में रफ़ी साहब के साथ एक बहुत खूबसूरत गाना गाया है। रफ़ी साहब के परिजनों से इंटरव्यू जो मैंने लिया, उन्होंने बताया कि वो जब घर लौट कर आए थे तो उन्होंने कहा था कि मैंने अमिताभ बच्चन के साथ आज गाना गाया है। लेकिन उस वक्त आपको कैसा महसूस हुआ था जब आपने नसीब में चल मेरे भाई तेरे हाथ जोड़ता हूँ गाया था?
जी, मैंने घर पे आके कहा कि मैंने रफ़ी साहब के साथ गाना गाया।
एक और सॉन्ग आपने ट्रिब्यूट किया था, न फनकार तुझसा तेरे बाद आया, क्या उसकी 2 लाइनें आप आज रफ़ी साहब की याद में?
भाई साहब, अभी हमने एक कंप्यूटर की बात की थी
जी,
जिसमें बेसुरे लोग जो हैं वो सुर में डाल दिए जाते हैं।
सर, आपको बेसुरा कौन कह सकता है?
यहाँ ना कंप्यूटर है और ना वो यंत्र है जिससे कि बेसुरी चीज़ को सुर में डाला जाए, और ऐसे मौके पर सुर में गाना ज़्यादा बेहतर होगा बजाय इसके कि बेसुर में आप सुने।
रफ़ी साहब का कौन सा गीत आपको सबसे ज़्यादा पसंद है?
जितने भी गाने उन्होंने गाए हैं, और ख़ास तौर से वो जो कि दिलीप साहब पे, और उस ज़माने के कितने ही अच्छे अच्छे गाने, सब बहुत ही खूबसूरत रहे।
जी, थैंक यू।
बच्चन साहब, जिस तरीके से अभी पुरानी यादें ताज़ा हो रही थी, जानना चाहूँगा, आपके काफ़ी नज़दीकी दोस्त प्राण साहब भी अब घर लौट आए हैं, उनकी तबीयत सही हो गई है। आप उनसे मिल कर के आए, कैसा था उनका मिलने का तजुर्बा, और किस तरीके से वो रिएक्ट कर रहे थे, किस तरीके से उनकी हालत है, थोड़ा सा अगर आप बता सकें।
ये जो जनता में रिएक्शन हो रहा है, ये बता रहा है कि ये प्रश्न आपका गलत है।
लेकिन सर, अगर आप कुछ बता सकें।
ये रफ़ी साहब के बारे में आज शाम है, उसके ऊपर आप अपने प्रश्न जो है।
हाय यास्मीन जी, आपसे मेरा सवाल है
जी
कि बॉलीवुड में टाइम जो वक्त है बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है लोगों के लिए, लाइक बच्चन साहब के लिए, शाहरुख के लिए, सलमान के लिए, सभी लोगों के लिए। ऐसा कहा जाता था, कहानियाँ ऐसी बहुत सारी हैं जो हम लोगों को मालूम नहीं है, जैसे जो कहानियाँ हमें पता चलती तो हम कोशिश करते हैं पूछ लेने के लिए। वो ये कि रफ़ी साहब इतने हम्बल इंसान थे कि जो प्रोड्यूसर या डायरेक्टर जिनके पास पैसे नहीं होते थे, रफ़ी साहब से रिक्वेस्ट करते थे कि मेरी फिल्म में आपको गाना गाना है, पैसे नहीं है, तो अक्सर रात में वो अपनी बीवी से छुप कर करके जाया करते थे स्टूडियो और गाना गा करके वापस आया जाया करते थे, और शायद ये बात किसी को मालूम नहीं होती थी। अगर आपको मालूम हो तो कुछ हमें बताएं उनके बारे में।
बीवी से छुप कर जाते थे ये तो मैं आपको नहीं बता सकती, लेकिन रफ़ी साहब बहुत मदद करते थे लोगों की। उन्होंने अपनी कॉलीग की भी इज़्ज़त करते थे। किशोर साहब के लिए, किशोर कुमार साहब की फ़िल्म के लिए गाया था, तो उन्होंने सिर्फ मुहूर्त के लिए, शगुन के लिए 1 रुपया उनसे लिया था। और बहुत ऐसे म्यूज़िक डायरेक्टर थे जो नहीं दे सकते थे फ़ीस, उसके लिए बहुत कम पैसों में गाते थे।
एक बच्चन साहब के लिए भी क्वेश्चन है। जैसा कि सब जानते हैं, आप गाड़ियाँ बहुत पसंद करते हैं, तो उस ज़माने में जब आप स्ट्रगल कर रहे थे, मुमताज़ जी आपसे सीनियर थी उस ज़माने में, आपके लिए शायद मर्सिडीज़ छोड़ करके गई थी, तो कुछ ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स है रफ़ी साहब के साथ जो आप यहाँ पे बताना चाहेंगे?
जी, ये सच है कि मुमताज़ जी के साथ जब मैं काम कर रहा था और मुझे उनकी गाड़ी पसंद आई तो वो उस दिन मेरे लिए छोड़ के चली गई, लेकिन ऐसा कोई वाकया नहीं वहाँ जहाँ रफ़ी साहब मेरे लिए कोई गाड़ी छोड़ के गए।
कभी फ्री में काम किया हो आपके लिए, आपके गाने गाए हो आपकी फिल्मों के लिए?
ये तो आप जो मेरे प्रोड्यूसर्स हैं उनसे पूछिए।
थैंक यू सो मच सर।
Just time for one last question. One last question. Could you let the lady behind you please ask, because you've had a turn.
Sit down, sit down, sit down. Sit down, बैठ के.
नहीं, सभी मोस्टली जो भी यादें थी वो सभी उसमें हैं। ऐसी कोई ऐसी बात नहीं थी जो मैं नहीं डालना चाहती थी। There's everything. Yeah.
Okay, one last question and that's it.
I think that his humility and his desire to, not make any fuss about anything. I've already described about this incident where he just promptly got off the plane and came and joined us. But every time you met him, he was such a simple human being. It was difficult to understand that a legend of this nature would have so much humility. Every time he would enter a room, there was almost a sense of peace and calm that would come around you. Truly a wonderful human being. And, our lives were enlightened by music in our films. And music has always played such an important part in the lives of actors. But we never sang them. And people like Rafi Saab were our voices. Another factor which I found very, very interesting in Rafi Saab was that before singing a song for a particular actor, he used to ask the producer, which actor am I singing this for? And then he would alter his voice or do something which would sound as though, yes, this is, whether he was singing for Shami ji or whether he was singing for Dilip Saab, you felt that, yes, this is Dilip Kumar singing or this is Shami Kapoor singing. This is a quality that is very rare amongst playback singers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bachchan. And I would now, on behalf of Westland and all of us here, I would like to... all of you, I would just like to mention that there are copies of the book in both Hindi and English on display just outside the door. So please do go and take a look and pick up a copy. And Yasmin, the author, would be very happy.
अमित जी